The last time I saw my girlfriend, I had no idea it would be the last time. She was going on a trip to Turkey, and I was bringing her my suitcase to use. I drove to her city, but she wasn't ready yet, so I waited in a Starbucks near her house. Then she told me she was going with her mom to get things at the mall for her trip, and to meet her there. I drove another 30 minutes to get there, had to wait at yet another Starbucks. I began to get annoyed. When I finally saw her, I was angry. We had a fight. We had this fight right before her trip. But on the way to her house, I calmed down and we ended up having a beautiful conversation. We made up and I hung out with her and her mom, who I bought some incense for. The three of us chatted, and then as I was about to make the hour trek back to my house, I spent some alone time with my girlfriend. I wished her well on her trip. I told her I'd miss her, that I'd see her when she got back, and then I left. I didn't have a clue that I'd never see her again. I often wonder if I told her I loved her. I'm sure I did, but did I really feel it? When I kissed her goodbye, did I appreciate that it would be the last time I'd kiss her? I honestly don't think that I did. In Stoicism, one of the main exercises is a technique called negative visualization. It consists of essentially picturing all the things you cherish and then picture them being taken away from you. Your parents, your job, your children, your lovers, everything. What would life look like if it was all gone? The obvious question that people ask, why would I want to do this? It doesn't sound very pleasant, does it? No, but it's not meant to keep you in a constant state of depression. In fact, it's meant to do the opposite. The Stoics, like many others, realize that we as human beings have this beautiful trait of adaptability. Essentially any situation we find ourselves in, we get used to it. Rich or poor, tired or depressed. We will adapt to the situation and it will become normal for us. If we strive and struggle to get a high position in our career, we may feel a slight burst of joy upon completion of the goal, but in time, we will adapt to it and will set our sights on a new mountain to climb. It's not a bad thing that we have this. In fact, if we didn't have this constant desire for more all the time, we would still be living in caves. All in all, it's a good thing, but it needs to be tempered and reviewed. Because of this constant desire for more, better, and different that we have, it's very easy for us to take for granted all the things that we already have in our life. We forget that no matter how bad things may seem, they could always be worse, and so we should appreciate our current situation. You forget that this kiss may be the last one you ever give this person. This may be the last time you see your children. By practicing negative visualization, we aren't trying to manifest bad things that come into our lives. More so, there are three general benefits to it. Number one is that by imagining what we can lose, we soften the blow of it. Unexpectedness adds to the weight of a disaster. The Stoic Seneca wrote to a friend, "The fact that it was unforeseen has never failed to intensify a person's grief." If you can visualize all of the bad that can possibly happen, you'll at least be a little bit more prepared emotionally if it does come to pass. Now ideally it doesn't happen, but by not being caught off guard if it does, we at least soften the blow a little bit. "No one is so brave," said Julius Caesar, "that he is not disturbed by something unexpected." Number two is it gives us a chance to prepare in any way that we can. When you enter a car, unless you're Eastern European, the first thing you do is you likely put on your seatbelt. You don't do this because you're worried about getting in an accident and panicking about it. It's just something you do as a precaution, just in case. Negative visualization is the same thing. You look at the things in your life that may come up, and if there are any precautions you can take, you take them. If not, you don't. After that, you can let it go and not worry about it. Remember that this technique isn't meant to have you overthinking and worrying about everything bad that could happen. It is, however, an opportunity to take stock and see if there's any way you can prepare for the worst if it were to come about. The final, and in my opinion most beneficial, part about negative visualization is it helps us to appreciate those things that we have. The person who pictures losing their children will be less likely to take for granted the limited time that they have on this earth. The person who knows it may be the last time that they see their significant other likely won't start a fight over something stupid. By realizing the transient nature of things, you're able to enjoy the moment that you're currently experiencing. There will always be a last time you do something. You can say you don't want things to end like this, but things always have to end. If you wouldn't be happy for things to end the way they currently are, you better make sure they aren't like that for very long. One day will be the last day that you see your parents, the last day you see your children, the last time you see your home country, or the final time that you kiss your lover. These are just three of the benefits to one of Stoicism's most popular exercises, negative visualization. And then, so as not to leave you hanging, I'm sure you're wondering what happened with my girlfriend and I. She is still alive. She didn't die. Just that when she got back from her trip, we had pretty much one day to solve a problem before I left the country as well. We had a big fight, and she ended up blocking me on everything. I remain confused to this day about what happened, and it was pretty much the most painful breakup I've ever experienced, but I have bounced back, and I am good now. Part of me, though, still wishes I would have appreciated the time that we spent together more, knowing that our time was going to be limited.